Welcome to the debate. Today, we're tackling what is probably the most urgent friction point in our profession, that impossible trade-off between rigorous, differentiated instruction and just the absolute exhaustion of teacher burnout. We're looking at the JAC Learning Strategies Assistant. Is this tool built on the Achievement Accelerator framework a genuine second brain for us, or is it just another tech distraction that wants a slice of our paycheck?
It really is the conversation happening in every staff room, somewhere between the second and third cup of coffee. So for this, we're going to drop the formalities and step right into the shoes of colleagues. You're playing the enthusiastic teacher who thinks they've found the holy grail, and I get to be the skeptical veteran who is maybe one password reset away from taking early retirement.
Deal. And my position is that I have found the holy grail. JAC is a breakthrough because it isn't just an efficiency hack. It's a pedagogical filter. I mean, unlike all those generic AI tools we've all played with, this assistant is constrained by Dr. Sonalina Lowry's Achievement Accelerator framework. It automates the heavy cognitive lifting of strategy selection, cutting lesson planning time by 50%, so we can stop drowning in paperwork and actually talk to our kids.
See, that's where I have to tap the brakes. We are seeing a flood of magic AI tools right now. And my concern, as someone who has survived like a dozen EdTech revolutions, is that instant lesson planning usually just means garbage lesson planning. Teaching requires human nuance. A chatbot doesn't know that my third period is exhausted or that my ELLs have really specific cultural contexts. If this thing just spits out generic worksheets, it isn't saving me time, it's creating more work.
But you're conflating generic large language models with a specialized pedagogical engine. That is the massive difference here. When you use a standard AI, you get, average ideas, or sometimes just pure hallucinations. JAC puts guardrails on the intelligence. It forces the output through the Achievement Accelerator framework, a system that has historically been proven to turn below proficient reading scores into ones that exceed state averages. It removes the decision fatigue. That feeling at 4 p.m. when you can't even decide what to make for dinner, let alone how to scaffold a lesson?
I know that feeling at 10 a.m., but let's move from theory to practice here. Decision fatigue is real, I'll give you that, but so is the need for specificity. Take English language learners. This is where automation usually just falls flat on its face. So if I have a student struggling with academic vocabulary retention, I don't need a fluff piece, I need specific, targeted scaffolding. How does this framework handle that without me having to just redo all the work anyway?
This is actually my favorite part. So let's look at the vocabulary maps feature in their Learning Apps Hub. You type in a target word, let's say photosynthesis or democracy. The system instantly generates a whole map, a student-friendly definition, an illustration, sentence examples, and cognates.
Hold on. It identifies the cognates? The words that look similar and share a common root across languages? Automatically?
Instantly. And that right there is the game changer. You know that finding a correct cognate or a culturally relevant image for one specific word can take, 10 to 15 minutes of Googling per term?
It does. It's a massive time sink. I mean, if I have a list of 10 words for a unit, that's my entire prep period gone, just sourcing images and checking translation accuracy so I don't accidentally put something offensive on the board.
Exactly. JADA generates those assets in seconds. It bridges the gap between knowing what you're supposed to do, like using visual aids and linguistic bridges, and having the actual energy to create them.
Okay, I will concede that. That specific application for ELLs, generating the cognates and the images, that's a legitimate pedagogical win. But we have to talk about the price tag. $15 a month, teachers are already buying their own tissues and pencils. Asking us to subscribe to our own professional development tool, it feels a little heavy.
I get that, I really do. But I frame it against the cost of your sanity. The primary drivers of our burnout are the hours we spend on differentiation, on scaffolding, creating extension tasks on the weekends. Those are exactly the tasks that JAC automates. So if $15 prevents the Sunday scaries and keeps you from quitting the profession, isn't that just rational sanity insurance?
It is a slightly dystopian calculus, but you might be right. If the choice is between burning out by November or paying a subscription to get my weekend back,
well, the subscription starts to look a lot more attractive.
That's the trade-off. You get the speed of AI backed by the pedigree of Dr. Lowry's consulting. It's a path to stop the endless strategy hunting and actually start seeing results. Plus, just think of what you could do with a free Saturday.
I am still cautious about silver bullets, but that vocabulary map feature alone suggests there's some real substantive utility here. It might be worth the investigation for any time-poor educator.
And that's where we'll leave it. For those listening who want to see if they can accelerate student success while reclaiming their weekends, the evidence suggests the JAC Learning Strategies Assistant warrants a closer look, especially with the risk-free trial.
Indeed. There is always more nuance to explore, but for now, that concludes our debate.
Thank you for listening to the debate.